Hi there, my name is Taylor McMahon, and I am a performer and aspiring choreographer in New York City. I recently had the privilege to work as an associate choreographer for the new musical at La Jolla Playhouse called Fly, and I was associate for Katie's Art Project's very own Stephanie Clemens and Andy Blankenbuehler. Had a wonderful time out on the West Coast creating that show with them. And over the last few years, I've involved myself with a lot of different Katie's Art Project events, so I'm so happy to be able to share this activity that I have planned to show you today. That is something that I like to do throughout my life. I've really been conscious of my hopes and dreams, and I think vision boards are really cool, and so I wanted to give an activity that is somewhat like a vision board, but it's a little bit more interactive and can really ebb and flow depending on when you are approaching the activity. So it's not something that is stagnant. Very much like our lives, we are never stagnant, we are always in motion, and so this activity is something where you can sort of see how you are feeling right now in this very moment, about how your brain and your body are looking at yourself, looking at the world, and what you hope for it. So if you're an artist, if you're a student, if you're a human, this is something that you can do anytime you might be needing a little extra work to see what is right in front of you. And so all you'll need is, if you have them, different Post-it notes. So you can do 2 different colors, or if you have one Post-it note, that's great. If not, you can also do this on paper. I would advise a Post-it note. It really does allow for you to engage with the activity most successfully, but I'm sure there are creative ways that we can get around it. If you are just using a piece of paper, that is great too. So what you'll do is you'll have 2 different sets of Post-it notes. One is dedicated for all the things that you feel and cherish right now. So the things that make you most full about who you are, who is in your life, what matters to you. And so for each Post-it note, you will put one item on it. So this is free thought. For 2 minutes, set a timer. For 2 minutes on this first set of Post-it notes, you are going to write down everything and anything that comes to mind. It can be so specific, it can be an abstract idea or feeling. For each Post-it note, you will write down for 2 minutes, rapid speed, almost free thought, no thinking, just what you cherish right now in the present moment. Once you've done that, then you'll take the second set of Post-it notes that you've set aside, or even if you just have a piece of paper, take a new sheet of paper, and for the second section, you are going to write down all the things that you hope and desire for your future. Again, one item for each Post-it note, free thought for 2 minutes about anything and everything that you hope for yourself in the future. This can be future being tomorrow, 5 years from now, more abstractly just in general. This is something where you are going to then articulate the things in your future that you hope for yourself. So set your timer for 2 minutes and you'll do that section next. Now that you have your Post-it notes for your present self and your future self, what you're going to do is take about 3 to 5 minutes with all your Post-it notes that you have gathered and find a space on the wall that has a blank canvas, so clear space on the wall, on the floor, really wherever, to be able to sift through these Post-it notes. And if you have your items on a piece of paper, I would suggest maybe highlighting, getting two different highlighters or markers or ways to denote different things, but try to outlay your pieces of paper, if you were doing it that way, next to each other and create a system where you are making connections between the two. So maybe you set circles for things that are similar and triangles for things that are different. Really get creative if you're using paper. The benefit of having a Post-it note is that you are able to put in different sections the Post-it notes. So you might have different clumps of things that are similar. You might have a large group of things that all are basically the same idea or relate to each other in some way or categorize with work and friends and family. Really, for 3 to 5 minutes, just take the time to get things on the wall without thinking, sort of, again, just placing them on the wall, categorizing them however freely you would like to do. And once you've done this for about 3 to 5 minutes, take a second to just look at the wall. Take a look at what you see in front of you. And then for 1 minute, you have the ability to move these Post-it notes elsewhere. And so this might help you focus in a little bit more, maybe some things you missed. But again, this is you consciously thinking about the ways in which you see yourself now and see and hope for yourself in the future. And you'll see that there are similarities, you'll see that there are differences, and hopefully in doing this exercise, you are able to notice how beneficial it is to consciously be aware of these things for ourselves, because in our present moment, we are always preparing ourselves for what is coming next. And I'm sure you'll find that there's not too much different in what you appreciate now and what you value in the future. So while we might be home more often or not able to see people as often, we are always with ourselves and are always able to reflect and hope for more and hope for better for ourselves. So I hope this activity was something beneficial for you, and if you are so inclined to take a photo of what you have created to share with us, we would love to see what your vision board is. But just know that it's not stagnant. We are always moving forward, and you always have the ability to write new Post-its, to move them, to throw them away, to cherish them, frame them, what have you. So be well, wash your hands, and you're amazing. Thanks so much.